Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Where Did I Put My Glasses? I'm your host, Carmen, and today, Cindy won't be with us for this episode, but she will be back with us soon. We are here with my friend Antwan. He is back for another episode. Hey, Antwan, say hello to the people and tell them where they can find you.
What's up, people? This your boy Antwan. I'm back for another episode. You can find me anywhere on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Fine Tuned. That's FINETUUNED. Fine Tuned, mind, body, soul, baby. That me.
Um, Today, we are going to talk about our spiritual journeys. This is um, a topic that we both felt like resonated with our souls, and when I say spiritual journey, I mean what path we're on, right? Like how we got there, um, what why we chose that path, all that good stuff. And I feel like everyone has their own like religion or spiritual journey that they're on, and I really like to learn a lot about what paths people take. Um, and so I think this would be a great topic to dive into today. Um, I did want to ask before we get started, because this has been on my mind lately. What what makes you happy? This has been on my mind for everyone. So, like, what makes you happy?
what makes Twan happy? You know what? This go back into the last episode that we did when it's the simple things. Um, the things that I can be consistent with. So to name a few, riding a bike makes me happy. Like, it's very rewarding for me. Let me not speak for everybody else, but it's so rewarding for me. I can get out in nature and ride my bike. Like my mind ain't racing. Like, you know how we got these intrusive thoughts that always negative thoughts nagging at us.
Hmm.
Those moments that take me away from that, those are the things that make me happy because before you know it, time done flew. And you're
Hmm.
like, oh damn, well, it's time for me to start the next day. Those are the things that make me happy. It's the simple things. A good slice of watermelon makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dead ass serious. Like I
No.
love some watermelon. Little simple things like that. Little simple gestures. Um, being around people that brings comfort. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily material things, but just bring that comfort and that ease of mind makes me happy. It's the simple things. We don't have to be planning this trip to Cancun, although I will like that. But just being around people that, that make your mind be at ease. Those are the things that make me happy. Yoga makes me happy. I wake up in the morning, especially after a tough workout the day before. Wake up in the morning, I got work in the morning too. You're like, damn. But I get me a nice little yoga session in, the sunshine, you know what I'm saying, coming through the windows. I'm breathing. My mind is just on my body. Like, damn, I'm a little tight. I'm tight as a motherfucker, right? But my mind is there. My mind is not on all the external things. Those that makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? To sum a few, you know.
I like that. It's
Mm.
like the simple things, and that really touches on like what we're going to be talking about today. Because I can agree, the simple things do make me happy. Like getting a new plant or a new leaf growing on my plant, like makes
Mm.
me really happy. I know that's weird, but when I see a new leaf, I'm like, hey, you know, if they're thriving and growing taller and larger, things like that make me happy. Like a
Mm-hmm.
good cup of coffee, um, a good walk in the sun, just feeling
Right.
the sun makes me happy. A good book makes me happy. It's like life can be simple.
It
Uh,
can be.
and I, because of lately, with the work stress, right? My workload and caseload is the caseload to workload ratio is kind of demanding for my job, and I find myself struggling with, am I happy at work, right? And so, but when I come home and these simple things happen, then I realize I am happy. It's just the work life is in balance for me. The life
Mm.
happy, right? But then the word
Mm-hmm.
is a little different. So sometimes I try not to carry, like I said before, I try not to carry work with me home, so
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate those small things.
Right.
I've seen people say like stupid things, like, well, I guess not stupid, right? Because it's theirs, right? So for me to call it stupid is wrong. But like money
Mm-hmm.
or um, a new purse and things like that, and it's like, dang, do we need those materialistic things to make us happy, or is it just for a few or a selective few of people?
Temporarily. It's a
Yeah.
temporary happiness. That's what I've learned. That's why I said, that's why I had to really think deep and say, you know what, the simple things and the simple, consistent things. Because how often do you go get a new purse? How often do you take a trip? Yeah, I would love to go often, but realistically, it's going to be a few trips out of the year. You know what I'm saying? And yes, in that moment, I am happy. But as soon as you come back, I got this song called Solitude Gratitude. But as
Mhm.
soon as you come back, you back to normal life. You know what I'm saying? That trip back home always the longest, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? You like, God damn. Like, back to reality. How that song goes. So those things are just temporary. That new purse, the new shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You be fly as fuck. That new shirt. You feeling good. You going out. You know what I'm saying? Had a great time because you was looking good, feeling good. But then that shit temporarily when you come back to reality. You know what I'm saying? So I say find something that you can do consistently, and consistently typically means inexpensive. If you
Mhm.
want to, we talking about material things, right? Typically for most people, you know what I'm saying? If you rich and you can do it, shout out to you, put me on, hit me up, hit my line. I can put my number on there. But for most people, it's the things that you can do consistently. That's
Mhm.
what I would like, kind of, draw back to. Not temporary things, consistent things. That's
Yeah,
what should make you happy.
I like that. Yeah. I don't know. That's just been on my mind because I have like a wonderful friend group, and we talk about work, we talk about journeys and things that we want to do, and I wonder like what makes you happy, because sometimes you can look inside of people's eyes and they can be smiling, but they may not necessarily be happy.
Mm,
So what makes you happy, right?
mm.
I don't know.
That's a
Now,
great question for people to ask themselves right now. Ask yourself right now at home, what
mhm.
makes me pause the video and say, what makes me happy? Say it out loud.
Yeah, no, true. Like write it down. Think about like what
Hmm.
makes you happy. Because I feel like this whole recycle, repeat that we all are going through, that rat race, sometimes those small things you don't realize that make you happy don't allow you the time. People are not afforded enough time to think about those small things that make them happy, where they can just practice mindfulness and just go on a journey within themselves to just be at peace.
Mm.
And that's why I really wanted to talk about this topic. Um, what like if you can like share like the beginning of your spiritual journey, right? Like what were the key moments or experiences that led you to explore spirituality?
Mm. Well, I'm gonna make this disclaimer right now. Spirituality is not what most people think, right?
Mhm.
And we just using words right now because like what does the word mean? But it's
Well,
actually
no, no, no.
feelings.
So like just when you think about spirituality as a whole, right?
Hmm.
Spirituality is more like the sense and the feeling that there is something greater beyond you, right? And religion is the practice towards spirituality. Now, some people practice religions in order to deepen their spirituality, or some people just live a certain way in order to maintain that um, sense of, I guess, hope, belief that there's something greater than you, and make sense of this life that we have that is much greater and a much greater experience, right? Like that cosmic, the divinity in nature, like we're divine, we're love and God and the creators within yourself. And with that hope, gives you the hope to create
Mm.
a life for yourself. So that's what I mean as far as spirituality.
Right. I got you. Okay, I love that. I love that. You got real specific with me because, and the reason I said that is because spirituality can be something totally different to everybody, right?
Mhm.
But let me just speak for myself. The moment I knew I started going through my spiritual journey, or what sparked my spiritual journey is when everything started to crumble down. And a lot of times, the reason I had kind of tried to get that disclaimer is because a lot of times people look at spirituality as the light, like, oh my God, this type shit, right? But when I start getting into this realm, whatever you want to call it, is when things really, it wasn't really a pretty time. It was like things was really crumbling. I was getting shown things, you know what I'm saying, before my eyes, like, like, oh wow, like this journey that I'm on. I thought this was me, but it ain't really me. And the more I continue to chase it, the further away I be coming from myself. So you start to feel it, you really start to hurt. So I would say back in 2000 and this was 2000, I was 22, 21 years old. So this had to be 2018, 2017, around that time. I'm playing football. Football has been a thing. You know, I pretty much all my life I've been playing football ever since like 5, 6 years old. It was expected of me to play football coming from where I'm from. Pretty good at it. A lot of accolades. Went to college for it, full scholarship ride. Thinking you're finna go to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody's dream, right? But slowly but surely, things start to unfold to make me kind of, like not, pursue that path as much. Like I wasn't giving it my all no more. And it's crazy. Around that same time, like I didn't even share anything with my godmother. She's a very spiritual person. She's religious. She's very, she into Christianity and stuff like that. But she used to just reach out to me, randomly and pray for me. And at the time, I'm not religious. You know me too. Like I'm not a religious person at all. But I'm always receive a good word from anybody. So, but she ain't know anybody. That's my godmama. Like that's my mama. But she used to reach out to me randomly at these random times, and she used to ask me random because she knew I love football. She been with me every step of the way through, like Pop Warner, all the way through, giving me nothing but encouragement. When I ain't had no ride home, she the one taking me home, taking me in, feeding me, all type of stuff. Like that's my mama. But she used to reach out to me randomly and be like, "Is your heart still in it?" Like, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm a lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm, hey, yeah, like I'm here. But realistically, if I would be truthful, my heart wasn't in it no more, and it started to show on the field too, or it started to show into my actions towards the coaches or towards the system that was around me. It wasn't me no more, and I'm forcing it. I'm forcing it and I'm forcing it. I'm going against the universe. I'm going against that spirituality, that calling that's calling me. I'm forcing it to the point where it's like, all right, boom, I end up getting hurt quite a few times because I'm not in the best shape that I'm supposed to be, or I'm not in the right mindset that I'm supposed to be. So around that time, like I said, I had to be 2017, 2018 is when I really felt it heavy. Like, damn, I started having doubts in my head about football. And then, coming from where I'm coming from, that's all we know. It's like, but what else can I do? But I wouldn't say that particularly for myself because I always been very street smart, but also had book smarts too. So it's like, yeah, I can get a job, but a nigga don't want no job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga want to go play ball and make millions. That's what we do or whatever. So that's when that time started coming in my head like, damn, like, okay, a career or things like that you're not really supposed to think about if you're playing football. You're supposed to be all in. They always tell you have a plan B, but realistically, if you got a plan B, that means your plan A ain't shaking. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it started getting real. Like, oh shit, like I might not be doing this on the level that I thought I would be doing it, or I'm just not in it. I don't care about it as much no more as some of these people that's around me. So I would say, yeah, around that age, that's when they kicked in. College, college year, junior season. Yep.
Now, like when it kicked in, what, what practices or were there practices or was there a religion that you went to help guide you through that journey? Like,
Okay. I will say I started getting into astrology a lot more around that time, and I'm coming up from a place where niggas don't even know how to spell astrology. You mean astronomy
don't do
or
it. Like,
nah?
come
I'm
up,
telling
it's
you,
coming
can't
up a
even
little bit.
I'm for real, can't even spell astrology. So we like, what? I don't even know if I knew I was a Virgo back then. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know my birthday was in September. So all of nowhere, I started being interested.
Remember Virgo? Because remember I brought it up one day we was chilling, and I told you I was telling you about Virgos, and
Right,
you
right.
knew a Virgo.
But around that time though, that wasn't the same time. That was after I was in school. I wasn't in school at that time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, this was before I
Oh,
met you. You know what
all
I'm
right.
saying? At that time, I started getting into it. So I can, like, you know what I'm saying, start getting you a little bit back around that time. But before that, yeah, nah, I didn't. I ain't even really, niggas don't believe in that or was taught that or whatever the case may be. So I started like really being into it, like really being interested, like. And you know how I go, how your brain is low key a computer too. So you start getting into it, you start meeting people that's into it too. You know what I'm saying? The same way the phone, you talk to it and they start showing you shit. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about that's how your brain
Okay.
is. They made the phone and the computer off your brain. It's basically your motherboard, like your brain.
Mhm.
So, so I started attracting these things. People that's into astrology, people that I probably normally wouldn't speak to because of you know how I go with popularity, or you're a football player, you only meet these type of people and stuff like that. I started going to different realms. Basically, I'm going through a different portal, if you may say.
Mhm.
So, I would say astrology was my first, like opening to like, oh, it's a different thought, a different mindset that can kind of sum up who you are, like, you know what I'm saying, tell you who you are and kind of let you know what's playing out in the universe. So
Mhm.
that was one that I dived into that really got me into, like, oh, understanding me, knowledge of self. That's another form of knowledge of self. There's a lot of levels of knowledge of self, but that was a form that I went into, that I gravitated to, that started giving me a little bit more knowledge of self. And I will say yoga too as well. I started stretching a lot more. And you can't do yoga without breathing, so it's kind of like a form of meditation. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of say meditation as well, where I actually took a moment to be still and not waking up like, damn, I got practice in the morning, or damn, whoever on my line, or damn, I got class, or it was just moments where I was just like, you know what, I'm finna just do yoga and I'm finna dive into some shit I ain't never heard about before. You know what I'm saying? So those were the moments where I would, kind of use to say that, yeah, kind of sparked it, and I kind of like, took me into that realm.
Because like once, like I practice mindfulness, like as far as like the breathing exercises, especially like the 4, 6, 7. I prefer diaphragmatic breathing, or some people call it belly breathing. I prefer that. I meditate. I like yoga sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I think it's like when I have like a really hard day, I can um, dive into some yoga. But I'm more of a. I have my meditation pillows. I like my sound bath meditations. It really speaks to my soul. I
Mm,
journal and do all those things, but I feel like for the most part, lately I fell off of that journey. Like life took a different turn, and I'm not doing those practices as much
mm,
used to. And I feel like I was more fulfilled, like you said. Like you you could look at school or look at going to practice a little easier because you were able to do something to shape life into perspective where to be a better day. Where I feel like as of lately I've like it's ebbing. You know how things ebb and flow. It's like ebbing and trying to so I'm trying to pick back up to those daily practices versus once in a while.
right.
And how do you train yourself to make sure you're practicing daily versus just when you need it? Like with me right now, I'm in that phase of when I need it, when it used to be just innate. I did it, right?
Right.
How do you keep it flowing without that ebb, you know?
You know what this kind of remind me of? You know how people be Christian, but they only call on Jesus' name when they need his ass. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand it's life. You know what I'm saying? What that's showing you, no matter what realm you in, whether it's religion, whether it be in your workouts, like, you know what I'm saying, you say you got a fitness goal, whether it be anything, there's that ebb and flow of like, nah, like you finna get tested. Like, you say you bought this shit, Is you really about it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we all have those up and downs through all those moments because you really got to take a moment and say back, like, damn, all right, well, do I really want to do that? Or is this more important? Or am I getting distracted? So, um, what keeps me consistent is the mindfulness. That's all you really got is the mindfulness. Your environment is super important. I made this video recently about environment, the places that you put yourself in. You consciously put yourselves as different portals, different realms. Whoever I'm speaking to right now that understand that, you constantly walk through different doors. But what you have to, be accountable for is you open that door. No matter what, no matter how, you decided to be in that place to be present. So you open this particular door and now you where you at. And if you don't want to be there, you can leave. But if it's something that say, well, I really gravitate to this, and this brings me peace, and this is something that I can see as positive. It's up to you to be consistent with it. It's that mindfulness to like, you know what, man, like boom. Like I said, so we was talking before we started the podcast. I started this new job, and for the past 3 days, I haven't done yoga in the morning. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe past 2 days, I haven't done yoga in the morning. But you know, it can get overwhelming. You can be tired, like you tired as fuck, like and this can be seen more important than this little small thing. So that little small spiritual practice that you do for 15 minutes a day. That's all it takes. 15 minutes. Let me dedicate 15 minutes. You can go give your boss the other 8, but that little 15 minutes can do so much more for you, spiritually, mentally, physically, when you about to go back into the world. Because the thing is, sometimes, I'm going to speak about spirituality, you can get stuck in the spiritual world, but you forgetting that you in a physical body. No matter what, you going to wake up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? This little shit you in, this meat pack or whatever, you going to wake up to it. So don't deny yourself that. It's like, oh, no, you have to come back to the physical and the flesh and really live it, right? That's the test. A lot of like, yes, you can be mental. Like we definitely mental beings or spiritual beings. We inside the body, but the real test is to make this flesh work in accordance with that mind. You know what I'm saying? So just that little 15 minutes a day. That's what I tell myself. If it's a little spiritual practice, a little thing, maybe it's a book that I was reading at one time. Like, yo, give yourself 15 minutes a day, a chapter a day. Can you do that? Can you be consistently doing that? Or working out. I'm into physical activity. I love working out. I train people, and that's the same thing I preach to them is, yo, show up. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care how you show up. You can have a long day at work. You can be sore. You can not be feeling it. Somebody just broke up with you. Your people pissing you off. Show up. I gotta work out for you. I can modify for you, but it's about showing up and putting in that time or that effort, and then we can go accordingly. Like, oh no, okay, you ain't feeling that? Okay, I got something else for you. Move, move, action, move your body, change your cells. Your cells you repair your cells every what? All of them got different functions. They repair themselves at different times. Train your cells. Like, come on, don't worry about it. You late? I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they hit me up like, oh, I'm a little late. I don't know. I want to keep you. No, hell no. Oh, all we got is 30? No, don't worry about it. I got your ass. Come on. We got 30 minutes of hell. Come through, but showing up, just show up. That's what I would say. Just show up. If it's a yoga mat, just show up to that mat. If it's a spiritual practice, show up to that prayer. Show up, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my message for that. Just to show up.
Now, with me, I agree. Showing up can be hard. Like when
Mm.
you're saying, like with the new job, I used to be able to show up. I used to be able to just get up early. I'm not making excuses, but I'm just saying, I used to be able to get up, work out, meditate, journal, and my days would go so smooth. But I will say it's not as, and I could see how, how my mother was Christian. Well, she was Catholic, then she became Christian, and they would call it like backsliders. Is that what they call? They're called backsliders, I think. And
Backsliders.
you remember? I don't
I
know
don't
if
know what that
is it backsliders or something like that. The people who like don't show up to church the way they're supposed,
Oh, yeah, I
or
don't know the name for it, but
yeah. So my mom and they would call them backsliders or whatever it was. And I feel like I'm in my backslider era,
Mm.
and I don't want to be. I want to be back to practicing mindfulness. I read something the other day when we were thinking about like what topics, and we had chose two topics, and I was like, okay, well, we're talking about this, but in I remember saying to you, I'm in a different phase of my spirituality right now, and so this
Mm-hmm.
interesting topic. But I read that when you are trying to deepen your alignment or you are being tested, that you go through that break to see if you're going to come back. And when you begin deepening your mindful practice, you become like non judging, patient, right? You have that beginner's mind. You begin to trust more and you're like non striving, and
Mm.
that's counterintuitive because you want to you want to strive, right? But you begin to let go of that effort of trying to do and just be, and accept and let go. And I feel like right now I'm in those phases, so I feel like I want to go back. But for a moment, I was just going, 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 going. And I was showing up in other ways that weren't necessarily aligned with what I felt was my spirituality.
Mm.
And so many things were happening, and I'm just like, why are these things happening? And that's because I wasn't staying true to myself. I wasn't showing up for myself. I was showing up for everything else, but I was not showing up for me.
Mm.
And so I think I'm gonna rate that on a post note. Show up.
Show up. Show up. For real.
I'm gonna rate that. Like just show up. Even if it's 15 minutes, show up. I'm gonna rate that.
I like that. I like that. And I like what you going through is what everybody go through. And the thing about you is what make you special is that you are aware, right? Awareness. So with you being aware, that lets me know that you do have knowledge of stuff. You are conscious of you not showing up at the moment for whatever reason, right?
Mhm.
And I like how you mentioned that basically I'm gonna sum it up. I ain't gonna use it as people, but distractions.
Mhm.
These distractions come up. And damn, what a wonderful God, right? Because like he gonna put or whoever gonna put distractions in front of you, but let me see how I can word this better.
It's just how you navigate those distractions and
How
come.
do you navigate them? It's gonna happen. Basically, it's inevitable. If you look at life as this forever recycle of rebirth and death. You constantly going through these stages. Like nobody gave us the blueprint to this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no manual. When you was a baby, it's like, hey, sign here. Like, here go the thing, this how the blueprint go. And if you follow, this ain't no assessment. Ain't no
Follow this formula, you
you
will
go
be fully
right.
fulfilled, right?
Right. We going through this shit in our own experiences with no manual. We just on go. So yeah, it's gonna be mistakes. And I love personal training. The reason why I really fell in love with it is because it's a continuing cycle of that of like, damn, do I really want to do this? Or damn, can I really do this? Or okay, I did it. And you know what I'm saying? It's a continuing cycle of you feeling high and low.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of like, was it Taoism? The
Mm-hmm.
middle way.
Mm-hmm.
That was other things that I kind of like start, going back into the question you asked me too. What spiritual practices did I start?
Mm-hmm.
I started looking up things like that, like, you know what I'm saying, the middle way, um, where you understand that, oh yeah, boom. And around that time, I started getting real familiar with polarities. Polarities have been the topic of my life for the past 2 years now. For real, I've been really heavy about like understanding polarities, which means that the middle way must be, you know, it has to make sense in the middle way, knowing that I'm gonna be flopping from each end to end.
Mm-hmm.
So, going back into what we were just saying, giving yourself grace, because nobody gave you a manual. Giving yourself grace to ultimately say, you know what? Let me give myself grace to make up my mind. Because that's all it really is—a choice. You have choices every day. You wake up. I got a choice to go to work. or I can stay my ass home. I can stay home and
Some
not get
days I
paid.
won't lie to you, Antoine, because you had me on the stay home. I won't.
You feel me? I can stay home, but I won't get paid. I
Yeah.
can go to work. It might not be as fun, but I'll get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, giving yourself that grace to know yourself and to make a choice. Make a choice and, stick with it. Do something with it. Don't stray away from it. But I will say that is human nature to, start something and stop something.
Yeah.
Then that goes back into the question that you asked me: what keeps you in your practice? When I said I started like yoga, those things, like, you know what I'm saying, the consistent things, showing up for myself, and that's what I was gonna get on. Like, don't worry, I'm drinking a daiquiri right now, so I'm rambling,
I love that
you
for you.
know.
I love that.
But
I wish I had a
you know,
cocktail early. It's
I
too early.
needed this. Had a long day at work.
I
But
love that for you.
showing up for yourself, that was the topic, and that's what I was gonna get on. Like, before I start rambling, that's what I tell my clients. You fuck everybody right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is for you. That's it. Nobody gonna help you shed these pounds. Ain't nobody finna eat that food for you. Ain't nobody finna lift this weight for you. Ain't nobody finna hold that weight on your shoulders for you, that burden that you carry. Ain't nobody can carry that for you. It's only you that gonna wake up every morning like, damn, I don't look good in this dress. Or I used to be this back in high school. Now you telling me a fucking story that you can change right now. So, you feel me?
I'm on my unbigging of my back journey. Okay, it's why you can't be coming for us ladies,
Hey,
right? We are trying.
I hear you. I hear you. But if it stick,
No,
hey, but
right,
you
go ahead.
know, you can use it in any way possible. Like, I use fitness because that's what the realm I'm in. But people go through these same cycles in different ways, and we
Mm,
continually making the same mistake, or we continue in the same pattern. And you
mm,
got a choice to break the pattern, because most of the time we do know what to do. We know what make us feel better.
mhm,
But like I said, going back into self, understanding that, yo, I need to do something for my goddamn self. Because the people
mm,
around me really ain't on the journey that I'm on. They just want to do their shit and talk about their problems. But what about me? So I want to ask everybody out there, ask yourself this question too. What about me? Like, what do I want? And what I have found is the more I start focusing on myself, the more others start to benefit. I thought I was helping people by just being all in their business and shit like that, but really, they ain't even want you there. Or, you know, you just intruding, and they going on a journey that they ain't even ready for yet, right?
mhm,
Now, when I start focusing on myself, people, I can lead by an example. I'm being an example of the things. People like, damn, I got niggas questioning the gym. Like, okay, well, what you do? Like, before I'm talking about it, or with the spirituality shit, or my eating, right? Because
mhm,
for the people who don't know, I don't eat meat,
mhm.
and I'm Jamaican. Like that, like we got oxtails,
Well,
curry goat.
The Rastafari, they only eat.
Rastafari, yeah, for sure, for sure. I do got that. I do got
Yeah.
that part of my family too.
Mm,
But I'm just saying, for the most people who don't know, they gonna look at, damn, I love me some oxtails. Me
mm,
too. Me too. But on this journey, a lot of people didn't agree with it at first. Like, what the fuck? The main question they gonna ask you, where you get your protein, all the extra shit like that, right?
You know what? People used to do that to me. Remember, I was vegan
Mm-hmm.
for a very long
Mm-hmm.
time, and people used to always say that. And I'm like, and there's pea protein, there's soy protein, there's so many ways that you can get protein. You don't have to eat a cow.
Right. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that and that little protein propaganda. But um, yeah, me going on that journey and being a lot more healthier in my body and feeling good. Like, a lot of times people be expecting it to be physical, but sometimes it be an internal thing, which I don't understand. Eating different, or this particular journey, it's an internal thing, and that internal thing kind of radiates out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It radiates, and people just start to feel different around you. Like, damn, what you doing? Like, you seem positive. You seem It's the action of me doing it. It's me being present, being consistent, and being an example is what helped people, not me telling people what to do. So do this shit for yourself. If it's something positive, you know when it's positive. Working out ain't nothing but positive shit to be
Mhm.
a better version of yourself. Or If reading that book ain't nothing but positive shit, or doing yoga ain't nothing. I don't see nothing negative. Like, what's one negative thing about doing yoga?
Not one thing, because
I don't know. You
when I
know,
dance and I really need, my body just feels amazing after that
right,
practice. Even if it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I feel just like a whole new person. So yeah, no,
right.
nothing.
You can't name nothing negative about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Going dancing, you can't name nothing negative about these things.
Do you do you know I had one guy because you know I broke up with my ex a little while ago, a few months ago, and you know guys ask you out, they do, you know, try to take you out, but and one guy asked like, what do I do for fun?
Mm.
I said, well, I take walks, I read, I like to write, listen to music, travel, but for the most part, just things that keep me centered, grounded. And he was like, "Oh, you're one of those soft life girls, huh? That fake soft life." And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Oh, you read, you this," and I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Yes, I read." And he was offended because I read and take walks, and he was like upset, like viscerally
Yeah.
upset. And then he started talking about like social media and these, and I realized, oh, he lives in make the land of make believe. So he's on social media and he's not realizing that there's people who really practice mindfulness and are grounded within themselves and they're true to this. It's not a soft life. I didn't create a soft life, just soft. My life is
Mm.
simple. Simple things keep me grounded, make me happy. And
Right.
I remember when you were saying like it's nothing negative about a book. He literally made that like such a negative thing, and I've never seen anything like it. I was like, oh, okay, well, you don't ever worry about speaking to me again.
Oh
But it was
God.
interesting because people can make things that are meant to ground you, to educate you, to make you feel good within yourself, to connect you with your divinity, a negative thing. And in all actuality, it's because you're radiating, like you said, and you're glowing, and they don't know why, and
Mm.
they don't like it, or they like it and they want to do it, and they don't know the steps. So I feel like when you feel someone glowing, just ask them like, "How did you get there?
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
How can I learn more?" You know,
Right.
versus making it a negative thing. People can turn it around and make it negative.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. And remember, on the last episode, I didn't want to like share, my new job experience or the new
Mm-hmm.
thing that I was going
Mm-hmm.
through because of that same reason right there. That I mean, we hear all these sayings, right? That's why I hate fucking words because it really means nothing if you don't really feel it, right? You just
Mm-hmm.
hear it, but you don't feel it. And you know, the saying, "Don't put your eggs in one basket before it hatch." But you
Yeah.
will take that lightly. You know what I'm saying? You might think it
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But realistically, what I look at it as is you got to walk it before you talk it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to really go through it before you be able to explain it to somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are going to have their opinions. There's going to be so many distractions. They're going to throw so many curveballs at you because it's not normal to them. But emphasis on the them and not you or I. So once you start to take that journey inward, everybody always trying to take the journey outward. Like we trying to go somewhere. That journey inward
Mm-hmm.
is where you find the most satisfaction. That's where you find your happiness. When you say, "Oh, what makes me happy?" That's a real personal question. If you're talking about some mainstream shit that you've seen that you probably never really experienced before, because half of the time the shit that make a lot of people happy, they never really got to experience it really. You know what I'm saying? I remember saying things, superficial shit too, you know what I'm saying? Until I started to get in touch with me or, the man in the mirror. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, what makes me happy now? These little things. That's giving you the key to life right there. You overlooking these little things that made you smile a little bit, like, damn, all right, yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
you chasing the next thing, you know what I'm saying, that you just seen or something outwardly when it really was the key right here. And then maybe that door can unlock so many other things when you really dive into it. So I like that. That was an excellent point where like, people can really project they're really projecting, you know what I'm saying, their insecurities or their doubts about themselves on
Mhm.
you. Everybody's on this inward journey and don't even know where they're going. They think they're going outward, but they really going inward. And they're projecting all these little inside things that maybe been projected on them, on
Mhm.
you. It's a continuum. Everything's a cycle and a pattern. And they trying to make you join that little loop and get you lost in there too.
I'm too strong. I'm no shake. You can't really shake me or move me outside of my beliefs. You already know how I operate.
Right, right. A nigga really questioned a book. That's crazy.
He was really mad that I take walks and read books and meditate. It aggravated him.
I bet he don't drink water either.
The people who don't drink water scare me.
I'm
They scare.
telling you.
I'm not here to judge, but you scare me if you don't drink water. Like
He don't
what's up?
drink no water. Can you name 3 fruits?
Yeah, that scares me.
Or what? I'm telling you.
But when you are like thinking about spirituality, like so I know everyone has like people that like you said you were looking into Taoism and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I like I do look into like different religions and like Hindu religions and Buddhism, all the different religions. I look into them, learn about them. I don't practice any, but I do read a lot. That's my gift. Um, and there's an author. I do listen to his podcast. I don't know if you know about him, like Deepak Chopra.
Say it again?
Do you know Deepak Chopra?
No.
He is one of my favorite. He has books. You Are the Universe. He has a new book out, Quantum Body, that I bought and I haven't read yet because I'm finishing up some books. But You Are the Universe and Quantum Body. I want to read Quantum Body, but You Are the Universe really resonated with me because it really um, taught me how me being myself and looking inward, like you said, right? Looking inward can help you attract everything that you need in your life to be
Mm-hmm.
healed, right? And be abundant, and not just abundant in material things, but in an abundance of love, happiness. And if it material things do come, great, right? But just be abundant and healthy and wise within yourself. And
Mm.
I do read a lot, and that's how it helps me maintain my spirituality. Are there any like books or like I don't know, like people that you listen to that help you like during this journey?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Um, I was just talking to Ty the other day about a book called Buddha in Your Mirror. That was a great book. That was such a great book. I even gave it to one of my homies' little nephews. You know,
Oh,
say, cause he was on a little journey too as well. So I had to just pass it along to him. Hopefully he read it. I'm on your ass if you watch this episode. But yeah, I need my book back. But no, Buddha in Your Mirror. I don't know who it's by. I gotta look it up. But Buddha in Your Mirror is like a blue book. You gonna look it up for me?
mm-hmm.
Yep, Buddha in Your Mirror. Such a great book. Such a great book. Simple, but you know it sticks. Uh, Another book is The Alchemist.
That
Um,
one is good. I read that
that's
when
a.
I was younger. Yeah, The Alchemist
Mhm.
is one that really questions uh, how you see life and how you navigate different obstacles that you face in life and navigate your relationships with people. I encourage in everyone to.
To read The Alchemist. I'm telling you. I even put so for those who don't know, I also make music too.
Mhm.
And it was this guy. He came down from Jacksonville all the way down because at the time I was living in Boca. He came all the way to Boca because you know what I'm saying, we just resonated on a certain level. And also he liked the way I rap and he made beats. So he
Mhm.
was willing to come down, shoot a video and everything. But before he came down, I recommended him to read The Alchemist.
Mhm.
And we had such an amazing conversation about that book. That book right there really could change. I even put my daddy on that book. My dad, he liked to read too. And he bought both of us another copy of it. Like you know what I'm saying? The hard copy. That's how much he liked that book. That was a really, really great book. I advise everybody to read that book as well.
Wait, the book
Um
Your Mirror is by it has a few authors: Woody Hoshwinder, Greg,
hmm
and Ted Marino.
I know the Woody is on the cover of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
Such a great book. Such a great book. And I'll throw another one in there. Another one. Savage Wisdom is a great book as well. That's
Mm.
by Adam. I forget his last name. Adam something. It's called Savage Wisdom. If you don't know how to read, like picture Cat in
No,
the Hat, but a spiritual book like Cat in the Hat.
well, if
And
you think about it, if you don't know how to read, people can low key just get an audible.
right, right,
Listen,
right. Um, that book right there, and that book is great because it asks you questions in the book, so you have to actually journal. I was journaling at the time, and that made me journal a lot more because it's gonna ask you questions, and that's that action I was telling you about showing up.
mm,
Another way of showing up is writing something down. A lot of times we're doing all this fucking typing, but the writing things is what really makes you gravitate to things or resonate. There you go. I
I
see it.
journals around me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, why do you have so many? Because I like to write down my thoughts and I bookmark them. And you could just be sitting there and something comes to your head. I have to write.
Mm-hmm.
I can't type it. I have to write it.
Exactly. I can go if I grab this book. Let me grab it real quick, and I'm gonna ask a question. Give me
Okay.
1 second. So, boy, I'm gonna go to a random question. Like I said, it makes you actually journal things. You know. Okay, here's a question I'm gonna ask you. So now
Mhm.
this is my show. This is my show. Okay. Would you rather? This is me flipping to a random page, and the author is Adam Cam. Savage Wisdom by Adam Cam. But okay, Carmen,
Mhm.
would you rather have less work to do or be really busy with work you love doing? And why?
Really busy with work I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because I love relaxing. You know, that's my favorite thing. I used to always say I love laying there, sitting there, but I love doing things that make me happy. So writing makes me happy. Creating makes me happy. When I am doing things that allow me to create and connect, I'm happy. So if I worked a lot writing, like when I'm writing, I'm in my happy space. There's some Saturdays where it's my off day, but I'm spending the whole day writing, um, creating scripts, writing my book, writing in my journal, creating. I'm learning to code, so creating blogs and researching and reading and writing. And then I look and it's 8 p.m. and I'm like, shit, but I was happy spending
Mm.
that time doing it. It didn't feel like I was working because
Mm.
I was happy. I was creating. So
Mm.
that's why I choose.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So you'll be writing yours down in your journal with that question. I got one more for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to know the truth without challenging it first?
Yes.
And why?
I have a really, as a Cancerian, I have a really strong sense of intuition. And often I know the answer before I ask it, or I know how things are going to play out before it does. And it's just more like, huh, I know it's weird, but it's intuitive. And I just possess that gift and I'm grateful for it. Do I always listen to myself or do I ask knowing the answer? Yes.
Mm.
But typically, oftentimes, I know the answer before
Mm.
I or pursue something.
Okay. I love that question. That was one of the questions that I really, really, really went deep into. And me being a Virgo,
Hmm.
we're very, analytical, trying to really dive into it. And I would say, no, it's not possible to know the truth without challenging it first. And I kind of let's use religion,
Hmm.
because that was something that was thrown into your face as especially a black person or mostly everybody. Let's just say that's something you're going to see somebody in your family that's very religious and it's going to be the way.
Hmm.
And if I didn't challenge that, have a different thought, I wouldn't be where I am today or in the thought process that I am. So it's different aspects of it. I understand what you're saying because you're right. There are times where it's like my intuition is telling me things, but you know, Am I gonna follow it half of the time? Probably not, because we don't know who talking to us at the time. If you don't know yourself, you ain't gonna follow it. So I do agree with you as well.
Mhm.
Um, but for most things, I will say, am I 100% right all the time? I'm gonna say no. Sometimes the things that we think that we know or feel like we know of is just our traumas. I find myself in those areas a lot of times that like, damn, I think I know because this situation seems so familiar. But when you really investigate, it's like, oh no, maybe it's just me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to I'm very defensive, or I'm trying to protect something, or I'm very guarded. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I even had that negative thought for that thing, or even decided to challenge it, maybe it's just me. So I will say, me challenging things, has opened me up to a new light to know that no, that I'm not always right. That.
So, in that
Mm-hmm.
aspect, I agree with you with that. I don't feel I'm always right. I'm a continuous learner, so I love to learn, and I
Mm-hmm.
will question things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking more deeply into that question.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far as that, yes, I agree with
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to research, and I need to know. If you tell
Right.
me something, I'm looking it up. I'm
I'm like,
gonna,
oh yeah, okay, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I agree with you on that one. No one's a
Mm-hmm.
hundred right, and
Right.
to think you're 100% right is wild.
Narcissism. That's what
At
they call it these days.
best. As now, asking you the same question:
Mm-hmm.
would you rather work less or work a lot doing something you love?
Oh, definitely doing something that I love. One thing I do love is, like I told you, astrology. I'm really into that shit. Like I'm good at it now too. I'm really good at it.
Have
Like,
you got my journal yet?
your journal.
Yeah.
You got an astrology journal?
Well, it's my moon phase journal, but it deals with. I thought you knew it's been out for what about
Nah.
years now. It's on
Oh, you got to
Amazon.
send it to me. Send me the link, please, and I'll
Yeah,
buy it today.
yeah.
And what's the name of it right now so everybody can hear it? What's the name?
It's phasing through it. It's called phasing through it. It's
Phasing
a
through it.
guided journal through the moon.
Okay.
But it's the moon phases is a component of astrology. So when I say you're in it, look into
I love that. I'm definitely on it after this show.
that.
Um, but um, I would love doing work that I love doing. Like I can do that all day. Like, and the thing is, it ain't work no more when you love it. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you actually love. So I will say, like, astrology, like with me doing that type of stuff and that research,
Hmm.
I be doing that shit for hours, and like, damn, it's time for me to wake up in the morning and go to work. Let me get my ass in the bed, But at the time, it don't seem like a chore.
Hmm.
Um, Even with personal training or things like that. For all the people that's thinking about being a personal trainer, being inside a commercial gym, you in this particular physical world, you're not gonna get paid as much unless you busting your ass, right? But the moment I knew I really loved it is knowing that, okay, I'm in this particular, typically I have my own business, right? But I
Hmm.
told you I moved to Houston, so I had to get in somebody's gym just to make a little ends meet. But that really let me know I do love doing that shit, because I'm like, yo, I'm already thinking in the future, like, bro, I'm not gonna be here too long, nigga. This check ain't cutting. I got bills to pay, and inflation only
Hmm.
getting higher. But when I got around my clients, like, all that shit just go away. Like,
Hmm.
I'm really there for them. I'm only absorbed into them. They into me. We talking about our day, but at the same time, we getting a tough ass workout in, and they crushing it. They doing things that they've never really done before. I'm inspiring somebody. I'm motivating somebody to lift something that they never lifted before. You know what I'm saying? And do it right. You know what I'm saying? Not just half ass it and do it with the wrong form, and challenge themselves to do it right. And after they get done doing it, that look on their face when they surprised, like, oh shit, like I'm a beast or whatever case may be. That's when, then I'm leaving that workout with a big ass smile on my face. They got a smile. We giving each other a hug or some shit like that. Like, I'm gonna see your ass on Wednesday. Be ready to come back.
I'm a tenor, so you gonna
You
get
know what I'm saying? But they
always.
looking forward to it. They looking forward to me to beat them up. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a way. That's when I knew I do love this job. It might not be a high paying job, but I do love motivating people and coaching people in that way. That brings me joy. Before you know it, that whole hour up, you know? I ain't counting the time because I'm here with you. Like, even though the company say, oh, it's a 50-minute session, I'm going to give you the whole probably hour 15 because that's what typically our workout take, you know, with the warm up and everything. I'm going to really go through the real motions with you like a day, you know? So those things, when you notice that moment that you be like, time flying, you know what I'm saying? You with somebody, you ever been around somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you really fuck with, and then before you know it, the fucking sun ain't even out no more. You like, damn, they're your favorite cousin. You know how I go. You got your favorite cousin, they got to go home. Man, ask your mama,
That's
can
like
you stay another night?
when my brother visits, I be mad when we're like little kids again. We just sit, we talk.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now
I
ask your mama, can you spend another night? Like,
be
you know, like, no, you gotta ask. You know, that them vibes right there. If you got that with work, that's when you know you love what you're doing. So I'd rather be busy doing what I love than to not be busy at all, you know?
I feel you on that. Now, what advice would you give listeners who are curious about exploring their own spiritual paths but might not know where to start?
Um, don't be afraid to take that journey inward.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid to really look at your environment. A lot of time we got these blinders on. Don't be afraid to really take a really look at your environment. What is your environment? Your environment is just the place you stay. But a lot of us can't afford to leave, right? But the
Mhm.
next best thing is the people that we're around, the conversations that we having. If it's something that really ain't on the path of where you're going, you need to. It's time to make a change, and
Mhm.
change is hard a lot of times. But your environment does play a big ass role into where you're gonna be in the future or your journey. It plays such a huge role of your development or how fast you develop. It depends on how you say you want to be a millionaire. If that's the case, you can get there a lot faster if you change your environment. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? If you run broke motherfuckers all day, if you look at it like that, a lot of viewers will probably resonate with that more because
Mhm.
everybody's chasing money. If you run broke people all day, chances are your ass gonna be broke too, right?
Mhm.
So let's change my environment, and then what you might have to do, you might have to change yourself. I might have to change my appearance. I have to change my habits to go get around these particular people that got the money or whatever. But you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? That's a little bit more on the surface level. But if it's more so like, I just want to change, I want to feel better about life. You know what I'm saying? If you run these negative ass people that all they say is some negative shit and they always got a joke to say or something about something negative and you feel it is negative and then now it's starting to resonate with you, you getting contaminated. That venom done, you don't got bit in the neck by that vampire because they sucking you dry. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So change your environment, be around more positive things that what we talked about earlier, that bring you that smile, that make it kind of on top of the same topic. It's not work. Be in that element a little bit more. And you'll start to see that those people, your environment, aka your environment, they gonna start questioning your shit. They gonna start
Mhm.
not wanting to be, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna quickly gravitate away from them. Y'all
Mhm.
gonna something gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but something gonna happen that y'all gonna sever that bond with them negative people.
Exactly.
They can't go where you going. So it's a journey inward. Change your environment. I always say with your environment. A lot of people they'll take it go over their head like, oh, I can't leave here. But your environment. Let me put the emphasis on the N. Take the E in and put I in. Inwardly, inside yourself. Like change your inwardly thinking. How you feel about certain things. Stop fucking hating. You know what I'm saying? Start being happy about certain things. Start being happy for other people when they have a
Mhm.
good thing and you'll start seeing it come back to you. You know what I'm saying? So change your environment, the things you do, your habits, and you'll start to see change on the outside. And that's that spiritual journey. It's a constant battle of none of the fucking distraction. Oh shit! I said I was gonna do semen. Just all the niggas like that. I was gonna do semen retention. Oh shit! Damn, she got some ass on her. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. It be simple as fuck.
That's true.
But distractions, little distractions like that can take you off just like that. But it happens. Hop back on the train and do it again.
Mhm.
And do it again and want more for yourself. Change your environment. That's what I was saying.
I like that. And I'm going to steal that. The environment. I'm still in that. I just want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in
I
that.
got you. I'm just hey.
Okay.
It ain't
But
mine, it's from the source.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
I say for me, For listeners out there, if you want to, I honestly think starting with like what I started with today, thinking about what makes you happy, writing it down,
Mm-hmm.
going through that journey, what makes me happy, write down a few things that make you happy and try to do a few of those things every day. Um, Start there. If you don't know how to meditate, learn a little bit about belly breathing. You can take 5 minutes and do some belly breathing. Take a walk in the sun at least once a day. Ground yourself, put your feet in some grass,
Mm-hmm.
just really think about it. And if you're a reader, You Are the Universe, or, that's an amazing book that you can read. But if you really want to become spiritual, not religious, right? Because there's books for religion and there's places for religion. Spirituality is more devoted to yourself. So you got to look inward, right? You got to look at your environment. You got to look inward, and you have to believe in yourself, because that's where it is. That's where spirituality is. It's within you. So look within yourself. That's what I was saying.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us for today's episode. Antoine, please tell them again where to find you.
Well, it's your boy Antwan. He just wrapped up another phenomenal episode. Thank
Yeah,
you, Carmen, for having me on.
of course.
It's always been a pleasure. If you want to find me, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Fine Tune. I'm gonna spell it for you. FINETUUNED. Fine tune mind, body, soul. That's what we on the journey of, and that's what we doing all day, baby.
Happy he's spelling it, because if you listen to our last episode, I was spelling it with two N's. And so I'm like,
Right.
I know who that is. And it's my and I'm still messing up his business. I was like, N easy. He's like, no, two
Two
U.
U's. Emphasis on you.
And please, please share Where Did I Put My Glasses with your family and friends. Click follow or subscribe on your preferred podcasting platforms. We are on Apple, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music Podcasts, and a few others. And give us 5 stars, guys, because you know you want to. And also go to wheredidiputmyglasses.com for information on me and Cincy and updates on the latest episodes. Check out our affiliate links to show your support and to sign up to be on our email list. And to interact with us directly, go to Instagram and Facebook at Where Did I Put My Glasses for your thoughts, questions, or comments on today's episode. Thank you,
Hey,
everyone.
peace.